Police in France have released Telegram boss Pavel Durov after holding him in custody for 96 hours, the maximum amount of time he's been transferred to a court for questioning. Now, Russian-born Durov was arrested in Paris on Sunday. The court now has to decide whether he will be indicted for alleged illegal activities on Telegram. The platform responded, saying a platform or its owner cannot be blamed for the misuse of the service by third parties. Now, Durov's detainment came as part of an inquiry opened last month involving 12 alleged criminal violations, including complicity in selling child sexual abuse material, complicity in drug trafficking, fraud, abetting organized crime and transactions, and refusing to share information with investigators when required by law, for example, to combat terrorism. And we now cross over to Natalia Krapeva. She's a tech senior counsel in New York. Natalia, we just heard about some of the accusations. What makes Telegram attractive for illegal activities?
Thank you for having me. Now, it's hard to speculate on criminals and what they think and why they like Telegram so much. But certainly Pavel Durov has advertised it as an attractive platform in terms of its security, that the communications are private and secure, and also that he doesn't cooperate with government. So information is safe with him. However, as civil society has pointed out over the years, that it's not quite true.
The Telegram boss is being questioned by a judge right now. The company insists that the people behind the platform cannot be held responsible for what third parties do with it. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not an expert on French law, but I know that countries have a variety of legal frameworks when it comes to third-party liability. Some countries like US tend to be less sort of looking into, exempting companies from liability. And then some countries would actually hold companies liable if there was a knowledge of criminal activity happening. In the case of Durov and Telegram, we know that they have been aware of, some of the harmful activities happening on the platform, and civil society has raised this as well over the years in terms of abuse and harassment and doxing that's been happening, and Durov has ignored us and ignored our concerns.
Other platforms do implement more control and make efforts to comply with laws. Why is Telegram less cooperative, you think?
Certainly, peer companies like Facebook, Google, right? They have implemented over the years policies, human rights frameworks that they follow when it comes to content moderation, sharing information with governments. Telegram hasn't implemented such policies. Unfortunately, what we understand is that everything that Telegram does is based on Durov's personal philosophy, his personal views on freedom of expression and privacy. And as we have pointed out, a lot of these views and policies that they have implemented are quite deficient, right? There's a lack of full end-to-end encryption on the platform, so the messages are actually not fully protected. And there is basically a lack of consistent content governance measures. And so that leaves Durov actually personally quite vulnerable to this kind of requests and potential coercion by governments from France to Russia to beyond.
Were you surprised to see him arrested?
It was quite surprising. It's an unprecedented situation where a head of this major social media company has been arrested. It's concerning development, certainly, and we were really afraid that it could set a bad precedent. However, we also have been quite critical of Telegram, its lack of basic security measures and its lack of cooperation, not just with governments, but also with civil society and vulnerable users of the platform.
What could be the consequences for Telegram and its users?
So we are hearing a lot from our constituents or civil society members that we work with. They're quite concerned that because their communication is in fact not fully encrypted, it's not protected. Only secret chats have been protected with end-to-end encryption. Durov actually has a key, right? He has a password, right? That could basically, if government gets access to that, they can read people's communications. And so that is a huge concern that he can be coerced in such a way as to share, whether that's a lawful request by government or perhaps a disproportionate unlawful request, and that he may be forced to give out this personal sensitive information about the users.
Tech legal counsel Natalia Krapova in New York, thank you so much for all those very interesting insights.
Thank you.